We're back again. Fox 10 Talk Sports. Robby Baker, Blake Niemann. We are here. This is going to be a full 13 minutes talking about Cardinals training camp. But Blake just broke some news to me about his hair care situation that I feel like it's worth discussing quickly. You're not a hair gel guy. You're a hair spray.
A lot of people are surprised by it.
It's surprising.
I know my hair looks very structured,
It looks great.
Put together all the time. No hair gel. Been using hairspray since high school.
And it doesn't, because like I go with like the jelly, like pomade-y stuff because it's so hot and I sweat so much.
That 24-hour strength hairspray and just.
Oh, so you're spraying the stuff that's putting a hole in the ozone layer. Like you're just. Yeah. Respect. All right. Yeah. Well, now you know what this is.
Now you know the secret to my hair.
Hey, this is what we do on the Fox Local app and Fox 10 YouTube. We can have some fun here. And we are going to have fun because we're talking Cardinals football training camp officially here for the Bird Gang. This point of the process, we're 3 practices in. It's glorified, football. There are shorts and t-shirts and helmets. There's not a lot of. It's physical and it's intense, but it really
There's only so much you can
becomes
do.
training camp on Monday when they put the pads on. But no shortage of storylines to talk about with this Cardinals team. High expectations, because the expectation is for the Cardinals to break the playoff drought and break through and make the playoffs this year. Those expectations come when you sign Josh Sweat and Dalvin Tomlinson. You bring back Calais Campbell. The amount of money this team spent, which they haven't in years past. They've had available cap space in years past. This year they spent almost all of their available cap space, and a lot of that on the defensive side of the ball. So I guess now that we are in it now, Blake, training camp is upon us. The expectations of making a playoff push in a crowded NFC West. A lot of the teams in the NFC West are going through some overhauls as well. And you've been on the NFC West huddle the last couple of weeks. You kind of got a pulse of what the reporters in the other markets are saying and thinking. Is it realistic that this is a playoff team come next, December or January for the Cardinals?
I feel like it has to be in the high realm of possibilities. That's the ultimate goal for this team right now. I mean, you look at the Cardinals' track record since Jonathan Gannon took over. The first season was not very good. I believe it was only 4 wins.
Mm-hmm. They doubled, and then they doubled it.
They doubled it this past season with 8 wins. I think it was a 6-0 start last year.
Something like that. They got off to a hot start.
They got off to a really hot start, and then after that bye week, a lot of struggles after that. So, just looking at it right now, with the additional pieces that they've added on defense, I think that could be helpful. But at the end of the day, this comes down to Kyler Murray. It comes down to how successful Kyler Murray is. And what's interesting is football and historically has always been determined for a winning ratio by turnover margin. How many turnovers can you create versus how many turnovers do you have? Now, in recent, the last 2 years, it's changed to quarterback success rate, being the biggest determining factor in a team's win and success rate. So this is year 7 of Kyler Murray experiment. It's playoff or bust.
I truthfully agree with that. It's people. I think anybody, whether it's my family members, friends, anybody that I talk to, wants to know about the Cardinals. They want to know if this is. What does the future hold for Kyler Murray? What is the situation? Obviously, he's under contract for the big extension still, and he's got years left on that. But it just feels like he's got to lead this team and break through, and it probably at least get to the playoffs, but truthfully win a playoff game. I mean, at this point in his career, and obviously it's not like he's had a Super Bowl team around him every year, so it'd be unfair to say that he should have maybe done more with less earlier in his career. But the amount of talent that is here now, it rivals, if not even more talented than that team that did go to the playoffs when they lost in the wild card to the Rams 4 or 5 years ago. So the pieces, the puzzle pieces are there. And in terms of getting Kyler Murray to maybe get his game to go to another level and to get this team to go to another level, it's the defense, I'm not too worried about. They've spent a lot of money.
I don't think we should be, considering the amount of money that's been poured in. The only concern I feel like we should have is the Walter Nolan calf.
Yeah, that's
injuring
tricky.
his calf, because calves are tricky, right? We remember with Darius Robinson.
Yeah, he missed his whole rookie year, basically.
Yeah, essentially there was also some personal matters involved with that. But you hope it's not too serious. Just hoping for a speedy recovery. in the void of that, though, they still have Josh Sweat on the edge. They bring in a veteran like Calais Campbell. So there's other guys, and Darius Robinson is now healthy.
That's a big one.
Bringing that back into the fold, Walter Nolan, a loss like that, your first-round pick, that is huge. But still, hopefully he makes a speedy recovery, and there's other pieces of depth, more so on the defense than on offense. They didn't really add any pieces this offseason.
What I was gonna kind of allude to is it's interesting because I'm more confident in the defense, even though the defense is basically entirely new. Like 80% of the guys that we anticipate to make impacts this year are mostly new or second-year players from last year's draft class. And yet I feel very good about the defense. And the offense, it's basically everybody, the gang is back. And they're banking on the continuity of this still rather large group. And you have your veterans like James Conner and things like that. But the continuity, they're banking on that helping this offense take a leap to the next level as opposed to bringing in a big name free agent like they did on the defensive side of the ball. And to me, it honestly, we know what Trey McBride's going to do. We know what James Conner's about. What is Marvin Harrison Jr. going to do in his second season? And it's unfair, I think, at times because Marvin Harrison had a very good rookie year. It's hard because
it's subjective, though. It's like subjective to your opinion on like what is defined as good. What is defined as good as the NFL? It's totally subjective to the person. In my opinion, I agree. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. for a rookie season, leading the team in touchdown receptions with
almost 1,000 yards.
Almost 1,000 yards. I thought it was a very solid rookie year.
But then you look at like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and you get Malik. There are certain guys. There's always like one receiver every year that just pops off and explodes, and everybody says, "Oh, they should have taken that guy."
And it doesn't help when you're not necessarily making that winning impact. It's like that. When you're not the full difference maker in the team's win or loss success rate, and you can't. Again, that is mainly determined by the quarterback. There's only so much to say a wide receiver can have in wins and losses on a team. But look, Marvin Harrison Jr., look out, folks. Like, this guy looks like a beast.
220 is what he's listed at.
He looks like Muscle Car Marv. All right?
I love that line you had from Maserati Marv to Muscle Car Marv.
Look, I mean, he put on 11 pounds. He's 220. Like, his biceps are as big as my head. Like, this dude is going to be a physical specimen. And the way I've heard like other Ohio State former teammates of his, like Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, talking about, like, this guy was strong back in college. And now adding to that now, look out.
The big thing I think that stood out to me too is Marvin, if you're watching this live, you know it's Friday. If you're watching it later on YouTube, this was taped on a Friday. So Thursday, yesterday, was when Marv spoke with the media for the first time during training camp. And I will say, not only physically is it just, at times it looks like Marvin Harrison ate Marvin Harrison. He's just so much bigger. And he did say that, obviously he lifted, changed his weight training and stuff, but a lot of it he said was eating. And he said he didn't used to be a breakfast guy. And he had to, because he just didn't wake up hungry.
Bro, it's the most important meal of the day.
Well, he knows that now. He's a big breakfast guy now. He's learning to love breakfast.
I am personally a big breakfast guy.
I'm a big smoothie guy at breakfast.
I am 3 eggs, 2 sausages,
and
a bagel, and a glass of milk in the morning. You gotta load up on breakfast.
See, I'm a protein shake guy in the morning. I like this.
I mean, that's valid, but like, you gotta fuel your body.
I do like breakfast though.
So I'm glad Marvin Harrison's figuring it out.
But not only is he bigger, but he actually acknowledged that he felt just more comfortable this year. He even said something along the lines of when he would do podium sessions or meet with the media last year, he knew he was kind of fidgety and just wasn't always comfortable. He was just a little nervous, and totally understandable. You're thrown into the deep end when you're a first round pick, 4th overall. And he seemed different, just demeanor wise. He seems not only just, like I said, physically, but he just seems more comfortable. He seems more at ease. And he even said that a lot of this too mentally has helped him feel freer when he's gone through OTAs and minicamp and now the start of training camp. And I think if you're a Cardinal fan, that's got to kind of perk your ears up a little bit too, because this isn't just Marvin, any rookie. There are times, whether you're a quarterback, offensive lineman, whatever, there was times, I'm sure, if you watch the tape, Paris Johnson, who's turned out to be a phenomenal first round pick and will be the franchise left tackle. There was times his rookie year too, where I'm sure if you watch the film closely, he was looking around, and it all happens so fast in the NFL. And to hear Marvin say now that it feels like it's slowing down, he feels that he understands why things are happening instead of just reacting to them. That's big.
You talk about that jump from college to the NFL. Monty Offenfor actually talked about this today, Friday, at training camp, of the most important jump for an NFL player is the year 1 to year 2 jump.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it with Trey McBride and how phenomenal that was. Now what are we going to see from Marvin Harrison Jr.? I think that's the big question mark for what we're going to see out of him. I mean, Darius Robinson too, with not much of a sample size for year 1, but those year 1 to year 2 jumps can be substantial because the year 1 jump, it's an entirely different game in the NFL than it is in college. So then once you have adapted to that, making that jump to year 2, I personally think Marvin Harrison Jr. is due for a breakout year.
Well, I don't know if I shouldn't say this, but I drafted Marvin last year in my fantasy league, and we do keepers. We're just getting in the weeds here because we got like a minute left. But I drafted him last year because I thought, this is my guy. Like Marvin Harrison, good dude. He's going to be a keeper on Baker's bunch, and he's, we're going to lock him down for every year I'm going to win the league. He had a good year last year, but wasn't necessarily the lock wide receiver 1 I was hoping for. And now he's leaving me with a decision here. Is he going to be a keeper? Do I throw him back in the draft pool?
I think you got to at least keep him on your bench.
But we only get to keep 3 players every year.
Ooh.
So I got to keep a quarterback, and I got Derrick Henry.
Quarterbacks are replaceable in fantasy.
I got Joe Burrow though.
Oh, okay.
It's the decisions that have to be made here.
These are the things that matter, folks.
Doesn't matter.
There is money on the line here. There is Waffle House trips on the line for some.
I was gonna say, yeah, in my group that we've been doing this league since college. It's life or death to us, and the way we do our drafts and stuff. And anything out of that group of like 12 people in that group chat means very little to them. But no, I do expect Marvin Harrison will have an even bigger impact this year. And if you were watching the newscast, Megan talked to Trey Benson today, second-year running back out of Florida State. He's expected to be a big part of this offense because
James Conner.
Conner he's the guy, but he needs a running mate.
Running back life rate in the NFL is very hit or miss. Some guys can make it a lengthy 15-year career, but that's very rare. Like 10 years is really stretching it for running back prime in the NFL.
Yeah, so we'll see how. Obviously, we expect big things from James Conner, but Trey Benson as well. And we'll continue our training camp coverage. Saturday is an off day for the Cardinals. Then Sunday, open practice, but only open to season ticket holders. And then Monday, totally open to the public again.